Did you know that learning centers can do 90% of your selling for you? But what exactly is it and how can you put one together? In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly what a learning center is, why you should have one on your website, how it can do the majority of selling for your business, and exactly what you need to put on one. So firstly, what is a learning center? Well, a learning center or a knowledge hub or whatever you want to call it is essentially a resource page on your website that gives people the content they need in order to know, like, and trust you and go on to buy from you. So this is different from, say, having just a blog that's in chronological order, or even like a video page on your website that's the same kind of just content in a chronological order. This is different because the way that you present this content is that it's there and it's geared towards helping someone understand more about you and eventually buying from you. So this means that the more that they visit this, the more content they consume, the less likely they're going to tire kick and get you on a sales call when they're not the right fit, and the less time they're actually going to spend with your salespeople before they say yes to a sale. So because we have a learning center and our clients have learning centers, we're able to get clients onto a sales call that literally lasts 15 to 30 minutes, and then they're committing to spend thousands with us every single month because they've already consumed so much of our content, and a lot of that content has come from our learning center. And in fact, one of our clients actually increased the downloads for their lead magnets by 40% just by implementing a learning center on their website. So what exactly should go into a learning center? What are learning centers and how can they do 90% of your selling for you? When we and our clients have used learning centers, we've seen a dramatic increase in lead magnet downloads, and this means more leads and sales. In fact, one of our clients saw a massive 40% increase in the amount of lead magnets downloaded just because she added a learning center to her website. But what actually is a learning center? How can you create one? And how do you make sure that it actually delivers you leads and sales? In this video, I'm going to go through all of that, and you'll end up knowing exactly what a learning center is and how you can use it in your business too. So firstly, a learning center is very, very different from, say, a blog or a video page. So it does contain content, really, really helpful content that helps your website user understand more about who you are and what you do, and eventually it builds a lot of trust with them so they feel comfortable buying from you. Now, a blog is something that's, content in a chronological order that people land on from, say, Google, or they find naturally and can just kind of sift through. But a learning center is a very, very purposeful page on your website that really delivers very specific content that helps people understand exactly who you are and exactly how they can buy from you. So they're two very, very different things. So what should go on a learning center? Now, the first thing that should go on a learning center is content. Lots and lots of content. So this isn't in chronological order. This is presented in a way that is very useful to your audience. So on our learning center, on our clients' learning centers, we'll have different types of content. We'll have video, we'll have podcasts, we'll have blog posts. But these will be very specific things that we actually select. So on our learning center, we have buttons for every single frequently asked question we get from our clients. And then when you click on each of those buttons, it goes to a dedicated blog post. So rather than it being chronological order, we've actually pre-selected the particular content we want our audience to consume that will help them make a buying decision. So what you want on there is some really, really good, helpful content, perhaps your most popular content, or content that really busts objections or answers questions that you might get on a sales call. You really want to bring that content into your knowledge center or learning center to make sure that your audience understands exactly how you work and exactly how they can buy from you, building that trust in the process. So that's really something that you should focus on in your learning center, is really bringing that content in there. You can even add titles like "Start Here" if someone's perhaps new to you, so you can have kind of the beginner content, and you can have something like "Thinking of working with us, here's some content you consume," or even something like "Here's a list of our most popular content." You can format it in any single way that you want, but it's really presenting all the content that you create in a really easily digestible way. So your learning center should help people when they're at different stages of that buyer's journey and presenting them with the content that they actually need, rather than having to scroll through lots and lots of content for them to find something suitable for them. The second thing that your learning center should have is lead magnets. So any lead magnets that you have should go onto your learning center. This could be your newsletter, it could be a webinar coming up, it could be a buyer's guide, it could be kind of cheat sheets or assessments, quizzes. All those things should go onto your learning center and be presented in a way that people can easily access all of your free valuable content. And doing it this way means that your lead magnet signups should skyrocket. They should really, really increase when you present them this way, because people can easily see how to access all of this good stuff and start downloading it. And doing it this way, you actually understand what people are really, really interested in as well. So if someone downloads a buyer's guide, then you know that they're really interested in working with you. If someone takes an assessment, then you get some really, really good data as to where they're at in their current journey. When you present all of these lead magnets together on your learning center, you really get a good picture of where people are at and whether they're ready to buy from you, which is always really good to know. Another thing you'll want to include on your learning center is essentially a search bar. So imagine that your learning center is the Google of your brain. Essentially, all the content that you've ever created, you want to make sure that people can search through it. So make sure your learning center has a search feature so people can search for the content that they actually need. And this is really good because you can actually monitor what people are searching for, which gives you a good idea of what people find interesting, what they want to know more about, maybe what content that you need to create more of. And it's a really, really good feature to people to use. So imagine that your learning center is Google and you want lots and lots of people using that search feature to find the right content for them. And then finally, make sure you have lots of call to actions throughout your learning center, lots of places where people can actually get in touch with you, book a sales call, whatever it might be to take that next step with you and buy from you. Because once they're exploring your learning center, they are really engaged with you and your content, and they're much more likely to buy. So make sure you include those call to actions on there that really get people to take that next step with you and potentially buy from you as well. In terms of visually how a learning center should look, it should be kind of sectioned into different things. So you might have a start here section, you might have a thinking about working with us section, an FAQ section, a most popular video section, but every section should look kind of different. Remember, you don't want this like a blog. So you don't just want blog post, blog post, blog post, you know, in chronological order. You want something really, really interactive, really interesting for someone to land on, really engaging, and lots of different formats to suit people and what they want. So some people want to watch videos, some people prefer to read a blog post, some people prefer to listen to a podcast. You know, if you're giving them all those different options, then that means that you are tailoring your content to them, which makes it a much more personalized experience. So there you have it. That's exactly how you should build a learning center for your business to make sure that your content is presented in a way that will really help people take that next step with you to get you more leads and sales coming through. I'd love to know in the comments below if you've set up a learning center for your business or if this is now something you're going to do thanks to this video. Please let me know in the comments below or give me a link to your learning center. I would absolutely love to check it out. And if you like this video, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button so you'll be notified the next time we release a video.